Welcome back to another episode of Contemporary Commentary. For hundreds of years, theologians and philosophers have asked the question, when did evil begin and what is the origin of evil? Some have proclaimed that since God created the world and everything in it, He is also responsible for creating evil. Some atheists say, if God is all powerful, why doesn't He just overcome evil so that it no longer exists? Well, to put it to you simply, God is not responsible for evil. According to the Bible, in Habakkuk 1:13, it says that God is of purer eyes than to approve or behold evil. He cannot look on wickedness. 1 John 1:5 says that God is light and in Him is no darkness at all. James 1:13 says that God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempts He any man. So God cannot be tempted to do evil, and neither does He tempt anybody else to do evil. So the bottom line here is that God is not responsible for evil. The source of evil and the source of sin is outside of God. When God created angels and humans, He gave them three things. He gave them intelligence, reason, and choice. Intelligence, the ability to think and understand things. Reason, the ability to process what they understood in order to make a choice. And He gave them the ability and freedom to choose between right and wrong and good and evil. And they had the wisdom to do them in that order. When man and the angels made a choice and disobeyed God, their sin was the beginning of evil. Because you can't create evil, because evil doesn't exist in the form of a person. Evil is not something that can be created, because evil is not the presence of something, but rather it is the absence of something. Evil is the absence of righteousness, the absence of truth, it's the absence of goodness, it's the absence of love, and evil becomes a reality when God's creations choose to disobey His laws and His commandments. The original evil came into existence when Satan and a third of the angels rebelled against the government of God. As a result of their rebellion, a war was fought in heaven, and the rebellious angels were kicked out of heaven. The second origin of evil took place in the Garden of Eden with the fall of Adam and Eve, and you've heard the story. Satan convinced Eve, and then Eve convinced Adam to disobey the instructions and commandments of God. They bought the lie that Satan sold them. And as a result of their tragic decision, sin entered the world, which gave birth to evil, whereby death entered in by sin. Evil comes into existence when God's creatures fall short of the moral perfection that they were created with. Man was created in absolute perfection, and evil is a lack of moral perfection, and whenever there is a lack of moral perfection, sin exists.